Hey everybody, how's it going? Marcos Villegas here, being joined with Sky Sports' Adam Smith, and we're going to do this little breakdown here of the Kovalev versus Ward fight, a fight in which many are saying it's an even fight, it's a pick'em fight, but one of the best fights that boxing is going to produce this year. So let's go ahead and get started.
Sure.
We have this category breakdown.
Yeah.
We got our categories here, and I'm going to go ahead and let you start with the first one in the power category. I think this might be the obvious one, but who do you have?
Well, it's definitely the fight of the year in my terms. I think it is a 50-50 one. It is a pick'em because they have such different styles. There's no question about the power one. That's Sergey's. He's the bigger puncher. You just have to ask Nathan Cleverly all about that when he won his first world title, and that was Cleverly. I mean, I think that took 2-3 years off Cleverly's career, and look where Cleverly's come back to by winning a version against Jürgen Bremer just the other week. That shows how hard Kovalev hits. I don't think Ward's a powder puff puncher. I think he punches with authority. But I talked to Carl Froch a lot about their fight in the final of the Super 6, and he's very tough on the inside, but it's an accumulation, and I think that there's no question that the one punch knockout, and I don't believe what they were saying up there that Kovalev doesn't hit hard enough with one punch to knock somebody out. I think he does, and I think if he does catch Ward with a big right hand, it will be very, very interesting.
I think he has respectable power, Andre, for the division, and that's something I think anybody
coming up from super middleweight as well.
I think anybody in that category is going to give him that sort of respect and not be reckless. Speed.
Yes, that's Andre's game. I mean, he is. He suffered slightly from inactivity, I think, over the last 3 or 4 years, but really his movement's beautiful, and he's agile, and I think he'll be looking for Kovalev to come in straight lines so he can move around him, and I think that speed is definitely in his favour.
Now this is one that I haven't heard a lot of people bring up. The category of who has the better chin coming into this fight.
I think you've got to give one to both of them because they both, I think, been knocked down once in their career. Both have very good chins.
By the same guy, too.
Yeah, and I think that Ward's got used to the fact that he probably doesn't have that concussive power. He's been 12 rounds so many times, so I think that normally fighters that do tend to go the distance and win on points at championship level, at top elite level, have very good chins, and I think Ward does. Kovalev seems to as well, but I don't think Kovalev's been properly tested. I don't think this is a fight that's going to see him in huge amounts of trouble, unless Ward gives him a boxing lesson and maybe somehow begins to break him up late on. But I think that the chins will probably hold up for the full 36 minutes.
I agree as well. Moving on to experience, one might be skewed to give that to Andre, given the Olympic background. But do you see it that way?
No. I think again I'd give both of them the glove. I put Andre first because obviously he has the brilliant amateur pedigree behind him, the Olympic gold medal, and obviously that he has been fighting at a very high level since he was young. However, I think that inactivity I was mentioning earlier, and the fact that maybe some of the Super 6 fights he was expected to win, I think Kovalev has actually got a different type of experience, a lifetime experience, and also the fact he's had to come up the hard way. After the Kovalev win, he's had some tough matches as well. I think Bernard Hopkins obviously was the pick there that he was expected to win, but the manner of victory was terrific. You can't buy, bother, or gain experience in fighting somebody like Hopkins. So I would put experience there for let's turn him up that way for Kovalev as well. I think they both tick that box.
So at this point, we're halfway through. We got 3 and 3, so they're pretty even at this point. Now moving to the category of ring IQ. Where's the better ring IQ, the better fighting brain in there?
It's definitely Andre Ward. There's no question about that. I think Ward is the most skilled fighter we've had in the last 20 years, probably apart from Floyd Mayweather. You look at the likes of Lomachenko and Crawford and fighters like that now. Back a little bit, you look at obviously Roy Jones at his peak and Oscar De La Hoya and fighters like that, but I think that Andre Ward, you've got to Manny Pacquiao as well. You've got to put Andre Ward up there as probably the most clever fighter, apart from Mayweather. Not quite the the brilliance of Mayweather, but I think he's got so many similar moves. I think he's got a ring craft and an ability to read a fight, which is phenomenal. I've always been a big admirer of Andre Ward. I just think he's never really got the kudos, never really got the credit. People say he's dull to watch at times, but people have said that about Mayweather too. I think the guy's brilliant, and I think this could be the night where it all comes together for him.
It could be a Chad Dawson type performance in which that fight gave him a lot of momentum, and then the whole promoter issue came up. But moving on to the category of technique.
Yeah, I think both of them can have for different reasons.
If you had to choose one,
if I had to choose one, it's definitely Ward again.
Ward, okay.
But I mean, I think you've got to put maybe a half one there, because Kovalev's got a terrific technique. Look at how many fighters he's got rid of. He's got devastating power, and he's not just a power puncher. He sets it up beautifully. And the Hopkins fight and the Chilemba fight as well. Chilemba's a tough guy, and what they told me about Sergey Kovalev was that he can work out a way to sort of box his way through 12 rounds. But I think he's going to have trouble against an Andre Ward, because it's just about levels, and I think that he won't have fought a more skillful and more clever artist in the ring than Andre Ward, and that's where Kovalev will have problems. But there again, Ward coming up to light heavyweight, yes, he's had those couple of warm-ups, the inactivity, the fact that maybe he's not quite what he was, will land in Kovalev's favour, certainly for power. But yeah, technically, if I had to pick one, it would be Ward. Ring control, again, you have to pick Ward for that.
All right, thank you, because I was picking Ward with that, and a lot of people were telling me, no, it's Kovalev. Look at the way he pressures. Look at the way he controls the ring.
Pressures, cuts down, and he's going to have to pressure and cut down so much in this fight.
Yeah.
And I think that Ward will find a way of frustrating him a lot earlier. Stamina, I think they both got bags of stamina. The X factor, I'm going to have to again go for Andre Ward.
Interesting. Now, why is that? Because me looking at it, I think if there's an intangible that could be factored in this fight, to me it has to come from Sergey.
The X factor, you can say he had a knockout power. He got power up here. The X factor to me is something more than just power. It is the whole W, the whole win. How he's going to get the win. The X factor for me is that I personally believe that Andre Ward could just give the performance of his life here, and the fact that he knows what's on the line. I think legacy is vital to the pair of them, but I think Ward has been in the game longer. Ward has been brought up to be a fighter since he was very young, and to be a top level fighter all the way through the amateurs, that Olympic gold medal. He's not going to want to lose this fight to Sergey Kovalev in any way, shape or form. Kovalev knows how good Ward is, right? Ward thinks he's a lot better than Kovalev, and I think that if he's trained as well as I believe he would have trained under Virgil Hunter, and if he's careful, because he needs to be extremely careful in the first few rounds, particularly with Kovalev's power, and he has to get a very good start. I think if he ticks the rounds off, I think you may say a really dominant display from Andre Ward. However, what you do know with Kovalev is that equaliser, that power is natural, and it could just change things like that. And because Ward is coming up from super middle to light heavy, that may make the difference at some point during the 12 rounds. I'm not sure it will, but it could.
As it stands, we have Andre Ward with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and Sergey Kovalev with 3.
It's not that one-sided.
I was going to say, by the looks of it, it looks like it's going to be a wash for Andre Ward.
That is more important than quite a lot of that, I would say. But that might counter that. And I think, although maybe people have said that, you might see the X factor with Andre Ward on Saturday night.
Majority decision, split decision, what do you think?
I think probably I'm calling the fight, so I hate to make a specific prediction like that, but I think I'd probably lean towards Ward on points unanimously. But as I say, if Kovalev catches him at some point, it wouldn't surprise me. Kovalev has the power to put anyone's lights out, and because Ward has been down before, has got a good chin, but because he's coming up from super middleweight, naturally, that's always going to be a worry. I mean, I know it's not like Golovkin and Kell Brook, or Khan and Alvarez, where there was a huge weight difference. And I think then obviously, that can be more telling. but I think that the power puncher is Kovalev. He can win by knockout. I find it harder to see him winning on points, but not impossible if he has a bad day at the office. If he has a great day at the office and the legacy belongs to Andre Ward, then I think you could see a dominant display.
All right, Adam, thank you so much. Really
Pleasure.
appreciate it.
No
Thank
problem
you.
at all.
See the breakdown over here. The fight happens this weekend over here in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. For Adam Smith, I am Marcos Villegas. Thank you guys for watching.